Welcome, everybody. My name is Jared. I'll be your Lunch and Learn host today. If you have any questions, feel free to put that in the Zoom chat or in the QA section of this Zoom, and I will answer that verbally. Or if there's something that I need to demonstrate over on decisions, I will do that as well. I think we do have one pre-submitted question. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. Let's see. Okay, so that was that one. No, there's another one. There was one individual who asked and said, hey, just curious, is there a list of keyboard shortcuts that we can reference? And the answer to that is yes, there is. I'm going to put this document in the Zoom chat. So if you're curious about the form controllers or keys and shortcuts and decisions, there's a document for that as well. Let me pull up the other question. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Let's see. Okay. Learn. Yes, there was Shane did ask a question and said, I'm trying to implement a function in which records I have on a dashboard would move to a different state based on a file upload. In this case, records that are not in the uploaded file that are already on the dashboard have their state changed. So if let's see, I don't see Shane on the call right now, but if I were to answer if I were to answer the what is it? If I were to answer that question, I would need more information on a function which records I have on a dashboard move to a different state. Basically, what you can do is you can utilize a right-clickable action, or you create a process that utilizes a set entity state step. That's the step that transitions stuff from one process to another into the to change a record into a different state. So that's one way that you would do it that way. But see, Wade has a question. I'm gonna get to you, Wade, in just 1 second. I'm just gonna answer this question in chat. Is there a way to do Chrome equals off in a mobile view? Yeah, it's the same way. So when you do an integration with a UI session, all you need to do is just have a Chrome equals off URL. Now, a lot of question that gets asked of that is how do you obfuscate that? I'm not sure how to do that. That'll be something to submit a support ticket over so that someone can't just mix your URL and change it to say Chrome equals on and then kind of still view decisions. But yeah, it's the same. It would be the same way. It's just Chrome equals off, and you could just add that to your integration on your flow that has that form, especially if it's a mobile form. There's no difference from a mobile. Can I test it? It'd be hard for me to show you on a mobile. But all it is just because it's not a mobile configuration, it's just an integration configuration. Pick existing form test stuff. It has a button, right? And then I do UI interface, and then I do view. And then right here, additional settings, display settings. You can do mobile tablet, and then you can just add Chrome equals off. Or you don't even need to have the mobile selection. You just do HTML, and then you just say where is it? Oh, there you go. Chrome equals off. You just use this URL. That's it. Yeah, I know I can switch it in the mobile view, but this is the way to do it. Right here. If you have Chrome equals off, you have your integration settings, HTML. That's how you do it. So you're specifically talking, and also it depends on the context you're talking about. You're talking about like viewing a dashboard, viewing a form. what I'm specifically talking about is if you're viewing the form. If you're viewing a dashboard, okay. Let's go that route. Let's see, what's a dashboard that I can? I don't think this is this a dashboard? It's not a dashboard. Let me create a quick dashboard. And I wonder, I'll just use this one because I can move this. Yeah, this will be my dashboard. Move folder to root. So then I don't need to configure anything. I'm going to delete this. And then if I manage page, where's the integration details? Set look and feel, set order, page/dashboard. There is, I'm missing something. Sure. You can talk.
Hey, yeah, so can you go to DevTools and switch your browser to mobile device?
Sure. No, I know what you're talking about, but that's not going to be the representation of what you want to view on your phone, because that's just going to render the mobile view on the desktop. And the true test would be like pull out your phone and navigate to that URL. And when you craft a URL with the user interface of that on your form, it's going to have it that way. I tested this I was at a client with on site, and they had a huge mobile implementation, and that's how we did it.
Okay.
But I don't know about the dashboard perspective. That's what I'm trying to test to see what it's.
Yeah, it does work with forms, but on the mobile, it seems like it's not removing the chromes.
So then so then I would make sure, and yeah, and so that could be what it is, and so that's why I'm trying to let me create a quick dashboard. I don't know why it's dashboards. I don't have a dashboard. All right, give me 2 seconds. Let's see. We're going to create a quick report, and we're going to do account stuff. I'm going to do comment. I'm going to get to you, Wade. I see you. I haven't ignored you. I know you have a question. I'm going to get to you. Give me like 5 minutes. Entity name. All right, cool. We'll just do entity name for right now. And then what I'm going to do, create form, page/dashboard. We're going to do page. We'll put a report viewer right here. All right, so I got the page. We're going to do the year. We're going to say, hey, let's go ahead. Manage, set page/dashboard. We're going to set page, pick page. So now I should have a page. And I'm going to say this is the account page. Right here. And then I wonder if I can now do integration. Aha, that's what it was. That's weird. So sure, login, display. Okay, so you have the same options here. Just create and then none. Perfect. So then if I would hit this URL with my phone, then I believe, I'm gonna try that. Oh, I don't think I can because it's my local, darn it.
Can you switch the display settings to mobile and see if URL changes? Because it looks like if you use mobile integration, it doesn't have those parameters like Chrome.
Correct. So see how you don't have the display setting there? So that's why you have to use the HTML one.
But then when I hit that, my phone would automatically go where you see primary H, it will go to primary M.
So it shouldn't. So that we would have to test that. Here's the part where I don't know. This is the part because I know that decisions, if I hit it on my phone, it will detect the device and then render the mobile view on that device. So that's why you can have it set to Chrome by utilizing the HTML part and configure it that way. Now, this one, maybe this is something that I can research and submit a DT for if this is supposed to have in the URL right here. See how it doesn't say Chrome equals off. But in the interim, I believe utilizing the HTML part and then having Chrome equals none or off, and then testing that on your phone. That one should still work. I know when I was on site, I think last week with a client, that's what we did, and it still rendered the form the way we needed it to, or the dashboard the way we needed it to. So I'm gonna write that down, and that'll be stuff I need to review on my end. Mobile on dashboard. All right, Wade, go ahead. I'm gonna allow you to talk. What's your question?
All right. So our ERP system is going to be the head of like what tasks need to be created. So so I got a API, I got like endpoint set up and decisions to like, okay, set up this assignment. So I have it go in, create my unique ID, set up a process folder, set the state of that folder, and then create a simple assignment. And then, but beyond that, I'm having trouble since the add simple assignment step doesn't have like it outputs an ID or anything or any more details about the assignment. I'm having trouble like assigning a warning date or any other details besides
Ooh.
what the add simple assignment gives me, which is just title and description.
You might have to walk me through that a little bit. I know what you're talking about. I just don't know. Is it just you're utilizing a simple form?
The step is called add simple assignment. And I was in the integration, uh, integration and then internal services under
You went to
assignment.
the assignment service?
Yep. And there, I think it's add simple assignment for user specifically. It's the number 5. Or yeah, you got it. Yeah, so I'm setting the entity ID as my process folder, and they identify type as user and all that. And then to do, I'm hitting manual. And then let's see what I pick. I pick build data is what I pick. Yeah, and that's all it gives me. But then there also is no output for the ID to potentially update it via that way. Like, do the database function of update entity and just give it the ID of the assignment. But there just doesn't give me any idea of what it just did.
So you're trying to task someone with like a form assignment, or
Yeah, so I'm setting the state, so let's like new, and I got the who it should go to this, and I got the init ID, which is the process I just made. So the only step I'm really missing is like the due date.
Okay. Oh, I see. Is there a reason why we're not using the add task step?
Do I have to use, since they're not going to be interacting with this, our ERP system is say, oh, create this task, and then any updates to the task, they're also going to tell me, hey, change the state to this or complete the assignment. With forms, I mean, does a person have to interact with that?
Yeah. So yours is a system, and it would interact with it, not a user.
Correct.
I see. I think there is a step, and I might have to ask about this. Is called await on external system, which is the step that sounds like what we would use. I know it's here on the dockside. Come on, wait. Manage. Okay, creating accounts to manage. Okay, I want to go to wait on. There we go. Wait on external system. I believe this one is where you can assign a system user, not an actual user. Let's see if we can find where. Let's see. So running autocomplete, check time span, service outcomes, utilize parameters. I believe this is the step. So in integration, wait on external system. Let's see if we can talk about this a little. Wait on external system. Integration, wait on external system. And so it would assign to the external system user, and you can give it a name and an action, and you can expose it. And then I think you can also say have a check on when it checks this, this task for the system to see if it's good or not. And then you can also add an autocomplete situation to it too, and saying, hey, if whatever circumstance, if it has this outcome, it should go on take this path. Let me see if there's other or Will, Clemens, do you know if we have any documentation on how to set it up? The wait on external system step.
Yeah, I'll check.
That'd be great. Yeah, because I'll be honest with you. I know of it and what it does. I don't know specifics on like what you would have to set up with that. I'll take that offline and ask in my team chat.
Okay, yeah, 'cause how they want it to work is our ERP system says, okay, create a task, and it sends it to decisions, and decisions is, okay, I created a task, who should I assign it to? It gives that back to, okay, assign it to this person, and so it's assigned, and then they just read back, okay, what assignments do I have for this person? I give that back to them, whatever assignments have been created. So the person never really interacts with decisions. It's all through our ERP system. It's just decisions is it's where it's holding the tasks and the states.
Okay. So then maybe I misunderstood. So is an external system just who works that task? Is it like me, the user, or is it an external system?
So they would in our ERP system, they would, let's say a certain pickup needs paperwork. So they would, okay, hey, this ERP system would say, hey, decisions, assign this task to this person for pickup paperwork. Decisions does that and assigns a task. So whenever that person goes to their inbox in the ERP system, they would do a call to decision, say, hey, what tasks do I have this person? The paperwork one would show up. In the ERP system, they would have it when they create the paperwork, it would say, okay, hey, this person created the paperwork, you can go complete this task. So it sends a call to decisions, complete, assignment ID, whatever, this is done.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so it's just like more like it just checks to see if the task got done. And if it did, then it closes it.
Yeah.
So I see. Okay. Then I wonder if maybe it's not necessarily on a wait on external system step, but we do have I think there is. Let me go to internal services and assignments. There's a way you can grab assignments associated to a user and check their state. And then based on that, let's see, where is this assignments? I'm forgetting my alphabet.
Because I want to create assignment, set it to a user, set the state of, well, I guess you can't set a state of assignment, so you got to use like a process folder or something. And then also
you can get assignments of, yeah, you can, because assignments I think do have a state associated with it. Let me just confirm that. I could be wrong. Let's just use the creator. Assignments are just stored in this table from entity _ assignments. And I think there is state.
What I read it says assignment states, unlike other entities, assignment states are reserved and cannot be set using normal methods, i.e. set state and set entity state. They said it, or at least that's what the documentation says, at least.
Yeah, no, that is correct. That I don't think we can manipulate it via the typical ways.
Oh, okay.
Because like, for example, like assignment started, that's a state, but it's a column. So that's why you can't change it the way you would like a folder or things like that.
Okay.
But we can check and I think that's just the date field for it. Entity name, sure. State, pending state change, right? So we have actually a state column here. So we can check that and just say, hey,
editable?
I don't think so.
Okay. Because we'd have our own state, like in review and whatever they want it to be.
Yeah. So because you have it, what's your data structure you're using with your project? Is like set a process folder, case entity, or
process folder.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so with that you can find all assignments that are tied to that specific record and then see what the parent folder of that state is, or where that assignment is connected to it. Let's see. Assignments, perfect. Time off, let's see, setup. Assignment setup. Oh, cool. Perfect. So basically what you would do, so here's how I would go about it. So here's the way. Let me go back to my flow. Yes, I want to break it. Is I would utilize, you can utilize your add task steps for this process, and you can assign it to the external user, or you can use the wait on external user step. And what you can do is in the assignment setup, you can tie that assignment folder to where it's not specified to say, you can say, hey, from the flow. And then now you have this assignment folder ID. And so why is that helpful? What that allows you to do is with that input, you can say, I want to store, let me go back to from flow, the assignment folder ID, and you can pull it from your setup process folder. So let's say I have a, setup process folder. Boom, right? That's going to output. I'm just going to pick some random folder. Let's see, my test data is where I'll store it. And then obviously we know this outputs a folder ID. And so then what I would do here is I would say, okay, on this assignment setup, I would then say, let's grab that output and store everything in the process folder ID. This way, let's say you have a record called Jared's paperwork that he needs to pick up, like that's the folder. And then you could say, let me check that folder to see if there's any assignments inside of it. Or I can check the state of those assignments, whether they're completed or not completed. I think those are the two kind of default or one of the defaulted states we have in assignments. And if they are, then you can then auto-complete this assignment. And if it isn't, then you can just remain this assignment active. And then going back to your original question, then you can use these specify, late dates, warn dates, escalate, flows to kick off when it goes into those different like escalated or warn. And then you can use those to reinforce that kind of process that you have.
And through this, the user doesn't have to interact with this form this add task form. Or do you ever create like the pick or create form? Surely you have to create part of it to have like an output, right?
Yes, correct. So there'd be a form attached to this as well.
But do they have to interact with that?
No, not necessarily. They don't have to interact with that. You can utilize the autocomplete process to say, hey, based on this condition, you can specify, hey, what's the state of this? Hey, there's no paperwork in this folder. All right, then let's go ahead and autocomplete it. That would be a way you could do it. But I believe, let me look at the wait on external. I believe this one would be though your bet of what you'd really want to do. Here's the time span to check, and then what to do when to autocomplete it. Let me get you some more documentation on the wait on external step and information. Could you send your email in this this thread? Because I'll email you some more stuff that I found from my team on how to set it up. But I believe you anytime you deal with tasking, you always want to think of add task. But in your situation, I think the wait on external system step is the path you want to go towards.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, perfect. All right, good questions. Any other questions we got? Let's see, Shane, I'm going to give you the ability to talk because I know you posted a question. I answered it earlier, but you weren't here. Basically, let me see, allowed to talk. Basically, what I would do in your situation, and you can give me more context if I'm not grasping the ask here. Mm-hmm. And it's basically what you can do to change different states based on a file upload is you can just merely check the folder where you store those files for that record, and then you can have a right-clickable action that then will move it to another state, or you can have it even automated as well. But that's essentially what you would do in your process.
Right. I guess in this case I'm trying to, I guess, automate it, so have it so I have certain files or certain records on a report or dashboard,
Mhm.
and then I upload a file. Um and um and the report and the dashboard um have like a list of employee names,
Mhm.
and the file I'm uploading also has employee names.
Mhm.
And what I guess I'm trying to do is have it be so once the file is uploaded, it looks at all the employee names that are not on that file that are already on the dashboard, and it takes those names and it changes the states of those names
For ones that don't have it or that do.
that weren't in the uploaded file. So say if I have on the dashboard, I have one for, I don't know, Sam, John, and Mike, and then I upload a file that has Sam and John but not Mike, then Mike's state would be changed.
Oh, okay, I see. Like missing Mike or something, or Mike was Mike not
Yeah,
found or something.
yeah, something like
Got
that.
you. Oh, okay. So what you can do, so and and this is a manual trigger based on an upload.
Mhm.
Okay, so basically what you could do is you would what's a quick way I could demonstrate this? We could, I'm gonna create some data. Give me 1 second. So I got my data, folder view. I'm just gonna delete this. Oh, and yeah, I know. I deleted that one. I'm actually going to, let's build that scenario that you said. All right, so I got that one. Or say list of people. Create folder, designer project. No, create folder, root. Call this people data. And then what we'll do is we'll go here. I think yep, set a process folder. And let me edit that. Parent folder, we're gonna say people data. And then I'm just going to say folder name. And then I'm going to do will. And then I'm going to do Kirsten. All right, so all I'm doing right here is I just got some data that I'm just going to use for demonstration. So let's say I have my process right here with this process folder record. I don't think I ran it. Did I run this? I didn't run it. Okay, so I got my 3 data. And so let's say I upload a file that contains some piece of data. I'm gonna use an Excel spreadsheet just for the sake of example, right? So blank one, and we'll say I have Jared and Will, but I don't have Christian. I can't spell. All right, and this is gonna be test names. And let's export this as a CSV. Boom, so I got my 11-byte CSV, very small. And then I'm gonna go into and I'm gonna create another process. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fetch. I'm just gonna use a quick fetch that just fetches all of this data inside here. So let's go to create a flow, and this is gonna be CSV upload or file upload comparison. I'm just gonna do a quick show form right for that. Boom, 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 boom. Form stuff. Let me edit it. we'll do, I'm gonna close this, delete this. Delete that. And I think I have active form flows, I'm not sure. And then I do file upload. Yep, that's what I want. File upload. We'll just do just one. That's gonna be uploaded file. Boom. Sure, that's fine. Send it over here, and then what I can do is I'm just going to, I can have this looping logic where I just fetch the data of whatever it is. And in this case, because of my configuration, it's just going to be, I think it's just gonna be folders. And it's gonna be specifically from the my people data folder for my use case.
Mhm.
So now what we would do is we would take in that data and so it depends on what this data is. So there is a step here called for each Excel. I don't know if you're getting it from Excel or.
It is from an Excel spreadsheet actually.
Perfect. Okay, awesome.
yeah.
So this actually worked well. So where is it? I know this step exists. Come over here. For each, it's like called for each row. There we go. There's spaces, that's why. And so then what I can do is I can say, hey, what I want to do is I want to results. Let's see if I get it. Let's see. Yep. Okay, go back here. So for each row of this Excel, I'm going to just query that data. And then if there's no results, we're going to have this go back there as well. And then we can do done. Right. And then what I could do is I could take in this file that I get, uploaded file from this form. I like to always leave this as auto select because if you leave it as auto select, if you upload a CSV or an Excel, it will fine. It'll be fine. Most of the time you want to say ignore first row because that's just column names, but in my spreadsheet I didn't think about that. So I'm not gonna check that. Don't want to get my data, but in yours you may. And so now all I need to do now is I can create a fetch criteria of some case and say, hey, if the entity name, which is in the decisions world known as the folder name, if it equals the same value in the first current row in field 1 where I'm storing everything. So going to my spreadsheet just for, right? So it's gonna kind of, you want to think of it as, where's my annotations? It goes through this row. So this is field 1. And if it goes through this row, that's still field 1, right? Because it's reading it that way when it's processing it. So with that information, what we can say is, I want field 1, I want to grab the text value from that. And then if I get results, I guess we're good, right? But if we don't get results, there's a step called set entity state where you can say, okay, if for some reason it goes down in this row, there is no results for it. Then what we want to do is we want to change the ID to, let's say it's not found, or not ID, change the state to not found. And I think, let's see, we'll have to do, so if we're reaching that way. It actually be a different way. This would be better. Yeah, there's a better way to do this because I have a logical error here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, here's going to be a better way to do this. So I'm always going to get results. I'm going to assume I'm always going to have results. Check for the data. We're going to say folders. Constant. I'm going to pick people data. And then I'm just going to use a rule and say, is it in the list? An in list rule. This is a default one we have. And I could say, hey, string is in list. Boom. Next row. True, it just goes back. False, we have to change the state of that particular entity. And so basically now what I would take in is since I'm fetching all my folders just in the people folder, I'm going to say, hey, let's grab that list of folder names or entity name. And then I want to see if that value is, what is it? In the current row, field 1 text value, and then pull, you can leave case insensitivity. And then you can see if it is in that list. And then if we find the one that doesn't have it, which will have that Kirsten record, that doesn't. And so, because that'll finish the process. Let's see, I'm trying to think of what would be the way to refer back to that to get this ID of the fetch entity. So that's where we're at right now. Is if we don't have that, we need to get that ID somehow. Let me think through it. Give me a second. All right, so we can do it that way. I fetched everything. Then we're gonna go through this file list to see if it's in the list of folder names. You could just use a rule collection filter. That'd probably be the best way to do it. Are you gonna be doing through large sets of data or small sets of data?
Probably through large sets.
Okay, so then we don't want to use a rule collection filter for that. So check that, see if that's in the list, and if it's not, upload the file. And refer back to the entity. Because the only difficult part of this equation is just to refer back to the entity. And I'm blanking on a simple way to do it. Because we have that entire thing when we fetch it. I'm going to loop through, and I'm looping through the Excel spreadsheet. Is it in the list? Is it not in the list? And if it's false, so it's not in the list, but it's never, it's actually never going to go down the false path. Because it's going to think it has everything. So probably what you need to do, what you would need to do is we'd have to loop it through your data first. So it'd be fetch entities. There is a step. Here's what I would do. There's a step called CSV to Object Mapping Editor. It works for spreadsheets too. And the whole point of this is you would need to create a flow structure, which is a data structure and decisions that's not stored, but allows you to transform file, like data in a file, into a decisions data type. The reason why that's helpful is because once we get it out of the file data, then we don't have to worry about finding what's trying to fetch back to the entity ID. Because if we just loop through for each, so like after we convert the data, let's say we converted that data, it's its own flow structure. Then my for each step, I can make sure I fetch, whatever data I've created that I'm trying to compare it to, whether it's be your case entity or your setup process folder. Reach this. Did I not? I didn't select this folder. Right, because I have it as the item property, and then I can just say, which I wonder if I could still do. If I output it as file data, there's a way to get dynamic rows. There's kind of many ways to tackle this, but what I would say is the best way, since you have large sets of data, create a flow structure. That's the first and foremost thing. I'm going to show you that. You can create a flow structure from XML, JSON, or CSV, or you can just take if your Excel spreadsheet has like a lot of columns, and you have like, I don't know, this is first name, last name, DOB, right? And it has as many fields. You can take the fields here and then use those fields to create that flow structure. Let's see. User defined types. There we go. Flow structure. And then we have a quick add option that allows you to just like add them all. And then you just have to make sure you separate this by a new line, and then it will generate all of the columns that you need. And then what will happen is that's the thing you map in. Oh yeah, it's definitely got space. And that's the thing that you'll transform your file data into so that you can interact with in decisions. That would be the recommendation that I'd take for
Okay.
that. Any questions? Any clarifications you need help with that?
So, no, I think that's fine. It's just because the way that it's kind of set up is that there's kind of like a data dump dashboard, and then there's like a section for like I guess all of the ones that aren't in the uploaded list. Um, and I think it's just taking trying to get that state, and then once a record enters that state, it should be able to get moved to that the other report. But I think I can try that and see how that goes. Trying to
Okay.
use so so would you recommend CSV, or would you recommend using the fetch entities more?
It all depends on your use case and what you have. If you're trying, you will need to do some type of comparison because you're taking file data and having to compare it to something existing inside the system.
Mhm.
So it all depends on what your starting factor is. If it's a file, I would go the flow structure route. And I don't know your context, but you may already have that. And then all you have to do is just say, okay, take my file, convert it to this data type, and then fetch that particular record and see if it exists or not. And if it does, then okay, cool. If it doesn't, then change the set entity state to whatever. The main simple question, the simple answer to your question, without talking like architecting the solution, is literally just this. It's just utilizing the step to say, taking my thing, which could be a process folder ID, could be like it's a case entity, and just saying what the new state is. That's the short and sweet answer. All the other architecture stuff is just trying to find out how do I get like the Jared record of my file to the Jared record in my table.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I think I will work with that then. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Alrighty, I'll leave it open. Any other comments or questions? All right, I'll remain on the call for about like 6 more minutes, just in case someone has a question that they would like me to answer. If not, then at 12:50 we'll end the call.
Jared, I just confirmed that when I tried to hit the page URL with HTML, my phone, well, at least Safari, goes to M version. And I confirmed that tablet version works fine.
Say that one more time.
So back to my issue with the mobile view of the dashboard. So I just confirmed I hit that local URL with my iPhone, and Safari automatically renders it to mobile view.
Yes, that's expected.
Yeah, and that one does not hide the Chromes.
All right,
But it worked for tablet view.
Right. Well, does it? What's the But it's a dashboard or?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Oh, sweet. Let me just utilize this.
So it looks like mobile view does not have those parameters, and it automatically strips them out.
This is integration. Right, I should be able to integrate with this. Oh, let me create a name session for this. Name session. Oh, cool. Already got one. Name session. This. Email myself. Test. I hate formatting on that. So I don't think you can load dashboards at all.
You can, if you go to the page data, not the, so where you set up the settings for the page, there is a setting where you can say to allow platforms like tablet and mobile.
Oh, right here. Yeah, that's where I'm right here.
No, not here. When you create a page, there is a page itself, designer, and page data. On that page data, there is a setting to allow it on mobile.
Oh, you're right. I see what you're saying. Thank you. I totally forgot about that. Stay current, but I'm still, I don't know. Because I'm still not getting the configurations that I set. Additional settings, strip manager page. I don't think this will make a difference. Test. What version are you running? Because I don't think, because I know when I'm testing on my phone right now, I'm not getting any difference, even after enabling that setting.
I do believe like 8.14.
Okay, so that's relatively recent, so that's interesting. Hold on, I'm gonna ask, because then I don't know. Can we? My manager dashboard for travel. Let me click on mobile. I just want to see what the difference is. Yeah, it's always this. Exactly what I get. I think this is the default. I don't think this is customizable. Well, I wonder if I add this, does it come off it? No. I don't know. Basically, the question is. Let me look. up any documentation on mobile stuff in dashboards. I don't think we have. Mobile portal. Setting up UI elements. This might be it. No, that's just the form. And just a default form template for it. Viewing mobile, let's see, select workflows and UI elements. Attempting to view element as a page or a dashboard. If the UI element references a page or dashboard, the user will see a blank page with the name of the folder up top. An example there is below. Not supported. Sure, that's just mobile form controls. Yeah, so I don't know if it. Yeah, I don't know if we can remove that part of the UI. I don't think that's removable from what I'm seeing. Ask the question with my team just to confirm that, but I don't see if due to the way the mobile form renders or something, it can't do that, or if that's a DT and we just have to, or really a new feature, we have to get that added. Because you're talking about removing this blue thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I would say that's a feature request. All right, any other questions before we close? All right. I see no questions, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this Zoom call so that can be posted on our YouTube channel. Tomorrow will be Andrew Patterson. He'll be another really a helpful individual. He has troubleshooted a lot of the product, and he's a really talented individual. So that'll be a treat to join his lunch and learn tomorrow. That'll be the last day we have lunch and learns until next week. So until then, I'll see you guys next time.